How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. Little bit of funky, hopefully funky. I'm kind of in the mood for a little bit of funky, but you never know. Hopeful funky, bready, Saison barrel-aged, wine barrel-aged, hopeful goodness in the form of Blackberry Farms Brett Saison, wine barrel-aged. Blackberry Farms. Relatively new to my area. Stuff just started hitting our shelves. I was lucky enough to procure a couple bottles from their brewery. Thank you very much, guys. They sent me off two big 750s in this kind of small, like 375, I believe, size little bottle. It's a little wine barrel aged Brett Saison, right up this guy's alley. If it's done my way, well, I was going to say right. And I was going to say done my way, so I cut myself up. Not done my way, but just done in a way that I enjoy. Let's put it that way. But, you know, funky beers can be done a couple different ways, and not everybody's fans of all styles. Anyway, let's just jump into it, see what she's got. As far as what it says on this bottle itself, it says 2017 Brett Saison barrel-aged series, or barrel series, ale-aged in red wine barrels, brewed and bottled, Blackberry Farm Brewery. Let's see, 7.5% alcohol by volume, tucked away on Blackberry Farm's 9,200-acre estate in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Blackberry Farm Brewery produces classic old world style beers, all artisan crafted and bottled condition right here in Tennessee. And that be that. Label wise, bottle wise, the whole nine. It's awesome, classy, like nice texture on the labels, what they're doing, just logo wise, the whole nine. I dig it. Let's put it that way. I'd be a fan. So I just had another beer kind of pop off of me, gush a bit, so hopefully this one treats me a little bit nicer. But let's see. Oh, look at that, she's gonna behave. Yeah, I just usually when I do reviews, I'll do a couple. That's how anything I drink, I typically film at this point, and I usually do 2 or 3 in a sitting, a couple times a week, and just did one that would have hit the ceiling if I wasn't quick. Let's put it that way. This one was not that, and that one was not a funky beer. Let's put it that way. It was just weird. Anyway, index finger, decent creaminess, decent uniform bubbles throughout, and I mean she's exactly what you'd want a kind of funky Brett-based beer to be in color. You have a nice snow globy kind of carbonation to her, a very subtly hazy, bits and pieces floating around golden straw kind of color to it. She's absolutely pitch perfect in what you'd want one of those beers to kind of look like. So we're off to a good start. Let's put it that way. Let's see if we can get a nose on her. Okay, that wine barrel is definitely leading the day here. Doesn't smell out of place though, and you're still getting the beer. Those are all great things. First things first, the wine. They're talking about a red wine barrel. It's coming off not as red winey, not as meaty, not as what's the word I'm looking for? Coming off a little bit more lighter in color wine for me. A bit more of that green grapiness, that green grape kind of vinousness. Now it could be a combination of a ton of oak combined with just a not so rich kind of red wine, but it's still vinous. It's still nice. It doesn't smell overly tart, overly acidic. As far as the whining or the winey or the barrel or the wine barrel portion of the show goes, but you're still getting the beer in there. You're getting a subtle kind of coriander, slight kind of subtle funky, subtle apples, maybe citrus thing. I don't think it's coming from the wine. I think it's coming from the Brett, maybe like a Brett C kind of strain kind of thing. Yeah, it's very cohesive. It smells like a nice marrying of the barrel to the beer itself. It smells like you have a nice, really funky farmhouse style beer that is Brett laden, that has a lot of sea vibe going on in it, combined with that kind of reddish, let's go reddish, wine, brighter, not as rich, not as deep, not as murky kind of red wine kind of vibes going on in there. Could be a bit of oak in there. That's where I'm kind of getting that kind of more kind of lighter wininess and just a ton of oak. But we're going to find out when we taste it, which means we're just going to taste it. Cheers. It smells good. Here's words for you. It smells delicious. Let's see how she tastes. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's a ton of oak in there. Wow. That's oak. That's oak, and that's a good thing. It's not a negative. That's a good beer. That's a really good beer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's tasty. Yeah, you have what you end up here with is that wine is coming off really kind of fleshy, really grapey. I thought it was going to be more kind of like a tannic kind of white kind of vinousness, like a super kind of just before the wine grape is fermented kind of thing, but it's coming off very fleshy here, but not sweet, like almost like an unsweetened kind of grape. You know, what is that? Artificial. What's that? When they do genetically engineered fruit or something, you have to do that to get an unsweetened grape or whatever. Anyway, rambling. You end up having that wine come through. Not super tart, not super acidic, not super tannic, not super vinous. It's just there. It's nice. It's meaty. It's almost a more sweeter dimension to the beer than anything else. You're getting that oak. The oak is very drying, but not over the top. It's not like a negative oak tannin. It's very positive. It's a nice fresh oak. There's a little bit of vanilla kind of in there too, which is really, really nice. Drying, but to the point where that drying works because you end up with this kind of nice sweetness too from the wine itself, so it kind of bounces off each other. The beer itself, there is that citrus. There's a citrus kind of component to that yeast kind of floating around in there too. That kind of just adds another layer on top of all that kind of bits and pieces and fruits and whatnot of the beer itself. At the same time, there is a really big pepper component in here. There's a really big white pepper, really big coriander. I know he's usually picked those on those when it comes to funky beer saisons, but it's very large in here. But it's not too big to where it kind of overpowers the beer and make everything go in one direction or the other. It's all kind of everything's a little bit bigger or smaller than each other, but it all kind of works. Yeah, there's that old straw hay kind of thing going on there. Not too much kind of damp, funky, wet blanket thing going on, but it's a really fun beer because what it is, it's kind of like a weird juxtaposition on exactly what's going on. It tastes bright and vibrant, but what these flavors are old and dusty. You know what I mean? You're getting that wine, that oak, that Brett. And those kind of tastes that only come with time, and they're coming off active. They're coming off big in a way that they're kind of like jumping out of the beer, but at the same time, you only get those things with a little bit of time, a little bit of rest, and that's pretty fucking cool. If you don't ask me, or if you do ask me, which you didn't really ask me, but I'm telling you anyway. Yeah, that's a really good beer. That's tasty stuff. See, this is the stuff that I would drink all day, every day. You know, this is just as good as the stuff that, you know, the funky side of things. Breweries that do it right for me. You know what I mean? The Allagash, to name number one. Then, you know, Oxbow. A lot of the northeastern style breweries that tend to do these kind of more kind of. Or who's the other one I just had? The Zebulon down by Nashville, or those breweries that kind of focus on a more dry log, even that do that more kind of funky, active, wild, even yeast. This just nails it for me. The oak in here is absolutely positive. The wine barrels balance beautifully with the beer itself. There's a meatiness to it, that fleshiness of that fruit in there. There's that little bit of funky bread seasoning that always turns me on, makes my butthole get a little bit tight, and just everything. Yeah, super tasty stuff. And that oak, it's so big, but so good. And the vanilla in it just gets bigger and bigger each time you take a sip. So, anyway, yeah, ramble on and on. Anyway, let's get to the point. Is this one of the better barrel-aged funky beers? I'm going to go funky. I'm going to just go Saison, funky beers, farmhouse. Let's go farmhouse. Let's get a generic so we can get a broader spectrum. Barrel aged farmhouse ales I've had as well. Yes, absolutely, it's up there with the best. It just does it for me. All the bits and pieces are vibrant enough for me to be like wow, but also rounded and cohesive enough that they work together to make everything just not just singular and just kind of just a hairy carry fucking hair on fire weirdo funk mess I should say. So yeah, value and availability, don't know. It was sent to me. Thank you guys for sending this off. You know, I mean, if you guys get this, I don't know. Like I said, we just started getting Blackberry Farm in our area, but I haven't seen these kind of smallish kind of corky cage offerings. But yeah, this is absolutely tasty stuff, and probably worth. I wouldn't want to venture a guess, but I'm guessing this is probably mid to high teens. Hopefully closer to 10, but I'm thinking $13.99. If it's way more expensive, you know, whatever. But that's my guess. Availability here again, I don't know. And just say if you like you like this. If you like those beers, and by those beers I mean the Allagashes of the world, the Dry Logs of the world, the Zebulons of the world, the funky Oxbow / whatever funky beers of the world, the Transmitters of the world, the I'm forgetting 19 other people of the world. If you like those beers, the ones that do it well and the ones that do it right, this is a really good beer. Blackberry Farms, when I've seen these guys, they've come to our area, and they immediately went onto grocery store shelves. Typically what that means, usually it's a bigger brewery, place has bought them, whether it be an AB InBev or some kind of distribution. I'm not saying that's what happened with these guys. And what tends to happen in the hipster beer world is that when beers go straight to the supermarket, a lot of people tend to overlook them. And I'm not saying all their beers are home runs. I haven't had them. I've had a limited sample size, only 2 so far. The other one was quite tasty too. Not as good as this one, but it behooves you to kind of give everybody a whirl, whether they show up, you know what I mean, via somebody waiting in line or you buying it while your significant other waits in line to buy groceries. You know what I mean? There's great beer out there, and if this is stuff that is sitting on the shelves that people are kind of turning away from, and I don't know if that's the case, but I'm saying in my experience, people tend to be a little bit more kind of snooty when it comes to beers that show up readily available. And if this is something that's readily available, then 1, poo on you. 2, more for me, I guess, because I would buy this in a heartbeat, especially if it was reasonably priced. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on tap. Acid Beers. This guy. All 4 of those places. Check me out. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice, beautiful wine barrel aged jammer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.